Happy Tuesday. Today, we will be going over our new vocabulary list and also our new vocabulary challenge that you'll need to complete this week. For the vocabulary challenge, you're actually going to be creating a concept frame, which I will share with you after going over your word list for this week. You will choose one of the words, and there are some criteria around the frame that you will need to find and give examples for related to the word in the middle of the frame. But first, let's complete our vocabulary list for this week. For this week, your vocabulary list is tain, ten, and tent, meaning to hold. And so you'll notice that all of these words have to do with something being held back or something being held, and how it relates to the definition as well as the part of speech. We have to also make sure that we are focusing on the part of speech as well in order to better understand the words that are being given. Let's get started. Abstain is a verb. It means to hold back from an activity by choice or to hold back from voting. And abstentanee, which is the noun, is the person that is choosing not to vote or is choosing to be held back from the activity by choice. You may abstain from participating in maybe dodgeball during PE. I love dodgeball, but some people think, there could be other activities regarding, not regarding people throwing things at your face, but you may abstain from that activity. And you would say that you don't want to do that. Contain is a verb. When I think of contain, I think of the noun container, and a container holds the contents that are within. So we may say that your container contains a sandwich. Your container contains small beads, used for crafting, whatever the case may be. But to have or to hold within is a container. It means contain. Detain is a verb. It means to hold back, to delay, or to keep from proceeding. You may detain someone from moving on to the next grade. Usually when we hear the word detain, it's used by law enforcement. Law enforcement may detain a person before arresting them. It's not arresting them necessarily, but they're stopping them and they're investigating, whatever the case may be, whether they stopped them for speeding or maybe they were suspicious of some activity that was that the person was involved in. They will detain them and delay them from proceeding until their investigation is over, and they may let them walk free, or they may need to arrest them and take them to jail. Detention is a noun. We've all heard this word before. It's a period of time in which someone is held back, a form of punishment by holding someone after school hours. You may not have personally been in detention, but all those TV shows and movies that involve kids, there's likely to be 1 or 2 or 3 children in detention for some reason or another. Extend is a verb. When we extend something, it means we hold it out. It means we unbend it. We stretch it out or spread it out. And we also offer things by extending them. So we may even extend our gratitude. We may extend our arms to stretch it out, to unbend it. We may hold out something and extend it, and not even just maybe extending like the birthday or an event that was supposed to happen. We extended the time out. So it's not going to happen right in there. It's going to happen a little later down the line. Patent is a noun. A patent is a legal ownership of an invention held by the creator, exclusive right or ownership. Patents are used by an inventor who has created something, and they don't want anybody being able to copy what they've done. Patents don't only go with inventions. People have patents on names, brand names, trademarks, things like that. And so nobody can take their name or take their invention. And if they do try to, then they could possibly sue that person from trying for copyright infringement. So Disney has patents on all their movies. So that's why, they can try to charge elementary school $200 for showing a Disney movie without their permission. Another patent that I think about is the man who created the Snuggie. Now, if you are not familiar with what a Snuggie is, it's that blanket with sleeves. I first saw that, thought that's a dumb invention, and eventually had my own Snuggie and thought it was amazing. And he became a multimillionaire off of that. So, you geniuses out there, create an invention, get a patent, make some money. A retainer is a noun. A retainer is something that holds something else in. It's a device that holds something in. Oftentimes, when I think of a retainer, I think of retainers being used after someone has had braces. You have to, it's a device to hold your teeth in place, because even just with braces, you still need a retainer and you need to wear it a little bit longer so that way your teeth stay in place, because if not, they will begin to shift. Speaking from experience. A tenant is a noun. A tenant is a holder of land rights or a person who holds the right to live in a residence, and an occupant. We are all tenants in our house. We are on our parents' lease. You might not have to pay rent, but they do have to know the occupants or the tenants that are going to be residing in the house. So if you live in your house, you are a tenant. If you live in an apartment, you are a tenant. A tendon is a noun. It's a band of tough fibrous tissue that holds a muscle to a bone. So if we were to cut open our bodies and look at the muscles, there are these strands of tissue that are called tendons. Tendons are quite sensitive. If you were to ever touch one, it's very painful. And the tissue has a lot of nerves, but it holds the muscle to the bone. So your muscle's not just on your bone. There are things called tendons that are holding it to the bone. And last is tentative. Tentative is our adjective for this week, the only adjective here. It means holding back on the final decision, uncertain, hesitant, not fully agreed upon. Whenever I think of tentative, I think of a tentative schedule. So schedules that are tentative means that they are not set in stone. It means that they could change. We're not fully committed to this tentative schedule. So that's why it's not a final decision. It's why it's holding back, and it's uncertain whether or not the schedule will remain as is or if it will change. All right. So that's your word list for this week for tain, ten, and tent, meaning to hold. Now for your vocabulary challenge, I'm going to show you an example of a concept frame. So this is a concept frame. It's not very straight, as you can see, but I just wanted to get a quick example up for you so you know what your expectations are. So it is a frame, as you can see. It kind of looks like a picture frame, and the word is going to be in the center. So for this concept frame, you're going to choose only one word for the word list this week. And you will find examples in literature, art, and in music. The student choice, I did put a few subjects in media down below. In a moment, I'll show you in just a second, just to kind of jog your memory. But you don't have to choose from that list. If you think of another outlet to give an example for your word, then that's fine. The only thing is you are not allowed to use what's already here. Okay, so that's your challenge for this week. But we're going to say this is an example of a concept frame. It's a vocabulary word of your choice that goes in the center of a frame. Again, just one. And then for the sides, you will find examples related to the different subjects or the media. And again, you can only use it once. So some examples can come from, I know I already have art, but technology, science, math, geography. I know we have music, literature, or drama. When I say drama, I do mean, you could find it in a screenplay, movies, TV, that sort of thing. If you can think of another subject that you'd like to use, by all means. But these are just a few that I was thinking of. Okay. So that's your vocabulary challenge. I don't want you using this, my exact example. You can recreate it in a Google document. You can use pictures. You can use words. You can use both. But I do want it to be colorful and creative. So again, colorful and creative. All right. That's your vocabulary challenge. That's your vocabulary word for this week. Good luck. and enjoy your Tuesday.